Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soccer Sharps, a soccer betting podcast. Merry Christmas, Jord. I should have led with that. We are getting into the EPL Festive Fixtures. It's going to be all EPL, baby. We're not dipping into anything else. And we're recording this on Christmas Day. You and I are a couple drinks in. We're ready to talk soccer, Jord. Here we go.
Martial, Herrera, Ibrahimovic! Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch! Balotelli, Aguero!
Well, we're back, Jord. We're live. Merry Christmas. How you doing on this fine Christmas day, brother?
Yeah, Dev, happy Christmas. Good to be with you here out in sunny Arizona as we sip on some beers. We've already had some Bloody Marys. We've had some limoncello. We're feeling loose as a goose and ready to talk EPL Festive Fixtures, Dev. One of my favorite periods of the season when we get the games coming thick and fast like this. We have more EPL next midweek, so we'll be doing another show capping more EPL this weekend. So there's a lot going on here, Deb, and we've got some tasty matches to break down here today.
We do. We absolutely do. And we're hoping that Santa can arrive early for us, or late, perhaps, for these games after Christmas because, there's nothing on Christmas Day. We're gambling on American sports now, the NBA and the NFL, and hit or miss.
Yeah, not our expertise.
No. Hit or miss. But it's been fun. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. If you are watching this live, jump in the chat. Let us know your plays, your predictions. We'd love to hear them and wish you a Merry Christmas as well. So if you are checking us out for the first time, please consider giving us a like, a follow, subscribe, all the good things. We do appreciate it. We're coming live from the same location. We've got a festive background, and we are ready to talk Premier League. And let's jump into the first matchup, Jordan. We're not doing any cards. If you are watching this on YouTube or one of the video platforms, apologize for that. We don't have the numbers up there in front of us. And I wish I was a little more prepared because I don't even have the lines in front of me, Jordan. That would have been useful. But let's take a look at...
Go ahead and pull those up if you need to, and I'll just talk about our apologies for not having our typical graphics that we like to put up on YouTube, or as Dev says, anywhere you're watching this on video. We tend to, if you are a newcomer, we tend to have all the lines for each of the matches and the team logos and stuff. It looks a little nicer than just two heads talking, but yeah, this is live podcasting for you. Just a couple of talking heads that you can look at if you want to, or just listen to it on your favorite podcast app.
Heck yeah, Jordan. Thanks for buying time there. Let's move on to our first matchup we're going to be covering here. And this one on Boxing Day in England. It's Manchester United against Newcastle United. This one is lined as a pick, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, bookies throwing up their hands saying you decide who wins this one. Man United at home, struggling a little bit with some of their AFCON departures. Newcastle can't get things right with too many fixtures piling up. But what do you think about this matchup, Jord?
Well, Dev, I'm really looking forward to this, the Battle of Boxing Day. Usually, in seasons past, it's been a long tradition of EPL fixtures being played on Boxing Day. This season, we're only getting one because it has to do with the day that it landed on, Boxing Day on a Friday, and something to do with the broadcasting. So they have to have most of the matches on Saturday. So next season, because Boxing Day falls on a Saturday, all the EPL will be in action. So we look forward to that. But this time we just get one standalone fixture and a bunch of lower league English soccer too, from the Championship all the way down to League Two. But we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with this one isolated fixture on Boxing Day, Dev, and it is a cracker. This one is usually quite entertaining. Newcastle have gotten the better of Man U in recent seasons. I think they've won 4 of their last 5 meetings with them. So, they'll probably take some confidence coming to Old Trafford here, Newcastle. I think that they've had some injury problems themselves, but I think you'd say that their squad right now is stronger than what Man U are dealing with due to injuries, suspensions, and AFCON absentees. Sort of a strange lineup that we'll be seeing from Manchester United. But on paper, I think it can be competitive. I think they have been putting in decent performances on the whole this season. I think we can definitely see improvement from them. And Newcastle on the road have been a pretty mixed bag this season. They do their best work at home, and I think Man U will feel like they can get something from this match. I didn't want to mess with the side, really. I decided to kind of play this a little bit differently. I'm just going to go with the goals here. And I have double dipped in this one. I have 2 official plays for this.
Double dip. He's double
Double
dipping.
dip. Double dip. I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5. I don't see how that doesn't come in here. I mean, you look through the fixtures that these teams have played in recent seasons against each other, and this play comes through, I'd say 90% of the time, looking at the ones I'm looking at. And I think given the form of these 2 teams right now, I just don't see how that doesn't land. It's coming in at -120. I think that's fair enough. And then I'm going back to the well with something that's been printing money for me in recent weeks, and that's the Man United team total shots to go over. It's lined at 13.5 in this one, which is a little higher than what I cashed with them on last time out. I think it was 12.5. But they've lined it a little higher here because they're at home in this one. And I think they can do it. Get over 14.5 shots is coming in at even money. You can take over 13.5 shots at -138. I'm obviously going to go with the even money because it's my favorite price. So over 14.5 shots for Man United, that's still lower than their average in the EPL. They're averaging 16.43 shots per 90. So this is below their average. I'm going to take it at even money over 14.5 shots.
Right on, Jordy. Yeah, I'm with you on the goals. I think you look at goals either way, all directions in this match. I was really tempted by both teams to score and over, which you ended up taking there. I stayed away from it because I'm a little concerned about some of the absences for Manchester United. They're going to be without Bruno Fernandes in this match. One of the first games he's missed, I think he had like 138 games started in a row for Man U, something crazy. He finally misses a game due to injury. Kobe Mainoo missing due to injury. And then we know about their AFCON departures with Brian Mbeumo, Amad Diallo, and Mazraoui as well. They're thin at the back. Harry Maguire's out. Matthias de Ligt, my balls, continues to be absent. So they're playing Aiden Heaven in there in the center back with Luke Shaw, Lenny Yoro, Diego Dallo, and Patrick Dorgu as the wingbacks in this system. And it looks like they're deputizing Lisandro Martinez as a 6. He's really a center back. They're playing him in sort of 6 midfield role. Look, they're thin back there, so they can't afford any more injuries. They can't afford too many yellow cards. And you look at the streaks for this team, we've seen over 2.5 goals in 8 of the last 10 Manchester United matches, and both teams scoring in 5 straight. Both teams have scored in 9 of the last 10 Newcastle matches across all competitions, and over 2.5 at the same number, 9 of the last 10. So for me, Jord, you can totally go with that both teams scoring over. I like to go with the Newcastle team total here, over 1.5 plus 110. Feels like good plus money value for a game that I feel like there's going to be some scoring in. Newcastle has scored at least twice at Old Trafford in their past 3 trips. To Old Trafford, they've scored at least twice. So I like getting the team total here at plus 110. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that's good, David. It will be interesting to see Martinez in the midfield, if indeed that's what they go with. He's got to be better than Ugarte, right? That guy has just been performing terribly. I think Heaven has been doing well for a young lad in the back line there. But Dev, the Kobe Mainoo thing, I just want to talk about real quick because I don't know what's going on with that. They haven't disclosed an actual injury that he's dealing with, but he's mysteriously left out of the squad. Are they looking to sell him in January and they want to just keep him protected? Has he had a falling out with Amorim? Is there some kind of shadiness going on? Because he's a hell of a player. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it is injury, but if it is, why haven't they disclosed what it is? Very strange.
Yeah, it's odd. It seems like he should be getting more run. He seemed like one of the players when Amorim came in that was going to really take off under him. Young guy, showed a lot of promise, and he's just not found his way into the squad this season. So interesting there. We're going to move on, though, George, because we got more matches on Saturday. But before we get there, we've got Jacqueline in the chat. She says, Merry Christmas, guys. Cheers.
Cheers, Jacqueline. Merry Christmas.
I got a light. George's got a heavy. Everybody's sipping on Christmas Day. Jordan, let's move on to our next matchup. It's the early game on Saturday, and it is Nottingham Forest against Manchester City. And this one is lined as Forest getting a full goal as home underdogs here, +1, and the total is set at a flat 3. Jord, I stayed off this one. I'm going to give you the floor. What do you think about City traveling over to Forest?
Well, Dev, yeah, I just had to bet on this one. This is this is a weird. I'm going to throw out some stats in this one, some strange ones. If Man City were to come in and win this match 2-0, and by 3 or more goals, they will be the first team in Premier League history to have won 4 games in a row without conceding while scoring 3 goals or more. It's such a weird thing to keep track of, but I think they can do it. I wouldn't be surprised to see them do it. I think they're in incredible form right now. And this Forest team, kind of a mixed bag. They have certainly steadied the ship under Dyche, but they still have a rickety performance in them. Here's another stat for you. Sean Dyche, as a manager, has faced Pep Guardiola 18 times. In those 18 times, he's gotten 2 points. 2 points. So not a lot of optimism for me for the tricky trees here at the City ground. I think Man City come in here and probably roll. That's why I was delighted to see the spread lined at the -1, because that's what we call the free hit, Dev. You think City, you're going to win the game. As long as they win the game, you're not losing any money. So maybe I push because they only win by 1, but given the fact that they're winning 2-0 and putting up 3 or more goals in 3 straight, I think there's every chance they win by margin in this one. And because of that, I got a double dip here, Dev. Man City's team total is kind of lined in between 1.5 and 2.5, right? Over 1.5 for their team total is like -188. Over 2.5 is plus money. So it's kind of right in the middle there. Bookies are saying, do they score 2 or do they score 3? I think there's every chance they score 3. And if that's the case, Man City to score both halves at +125, too big. Because if they're scoring 3 goals, there's every chance there's one on either side of halftime. So that's my double dip. I'm going to take Man City on the Asian handicap -1, coming in at -105. And I'm going to take them to score in both halves at +125. I think this is a roll spot for Man City.
Right on, George. Yeah, they got both teams to score yes in this one, -150. Can Nottingham Forest get on the score sheet? I think that's an interesting shout because I'm pretty sure Man City win this game. So could you parlay those two? Could you take City to win with both teams to score, get a nice plus money there? At the end, I elected to stay off of this one. Forest, tricky team. They play very differently at home to how they play on the road, so I'm just going to go ahead and watch this one, Jordan. I wish you luck on your place.
Preach, bro. Preach.
Anytime, buddy. Well, let's move on because we've got another matchup here, and this one is Liverpool taking on Wolverhampton. This one sees Liverpool as home favorites of 1.75 goals, -1.75. The total is set at 3.25. Those are on the Asian handicap and spread. Jord, Wolves struggling. Liverpool maybe starting to find themselves a little bit, though now they're dealing with some departures, some injuries. And what do you think about this matchup?
Well, Dev, I mean, kind of like the last one, I think it's hard to see anything but a Liverpool victory here. This Wolves team, historically bad. I really didn't think they would be coming into the season. I think they'd have to be a little bit better, a little bit more competitive. But it is dark, man. Just losses everywhere. 2 points on the season. It's hard to see them getting anything from this match. So you got to be pro Liverpool here. But I'm afraid to mess with it because, you kind of got to get creative with how you're going to play it. You have to be really bullish on Liverpool, taking the big spread, taking them to score multiple goals. And I'm not sure that I trust them enough to do that yet, right? They're still kind of recovering from some shockingly bad performances themselves. And even that people are saying that they're turning a corner a little bit. I don't know. It was like worrying against Spurs when they were up 2-0. And then it looked for all the world like Spurs were definitely going to equalize despite being down to 10 men. So they're shaky. Maybe they're low on confidence. I don't know. But I just, because of that, I just didn't want to mess with it. Could this be a shock where Wolves get something out of it? Probably not, but I elected to stay off. What do you got?
Well, Speaking of being bullish, Jordan, I'm going fully in here. I'm taking Liverpool win to nil at even money. This Wolves team is historically bad. They have 2 points on the season. You mentioned it. That's through over 25 games. Let's see, I can tell you the exact. No, I'm sorry. Through 17 games, 2 points, negative 28 goal differential. Liverpool win to nil here. You mentioned the Spurs match where they sort of parked the bus after going ahead by 2 men because of the 2 red cards for Tottenham. And then it seemed like they couldn't get a hold of the game. A more conservative approach, a more pragmatic approach from Slot, perhaps? Well, if they get ahead in this game against Wolves, they can do that, and I have no doubt that Wolves won't be able to get on the score sheet. They've been so bad, uninspired. Nobody's playing well. Jorgen Strand Larsen, their number 9, probably their best player in attack, misses a penalty last week. Yeah, they're low on confidence. Now they got to go to Anfield. Tough place to go. I just wanted to be on Liverpool in some direction here. Spread was a little rich for me because I could totally see a 1-0, 2-0 here. So give me that win to nil at even money here, Jordan. I mentioned some of the injuries maybe piling up for Liverpool. Alexander Isak, he broke his leg. I think he may be done for the season. Dominic Szoboszlai is suspended off yellow card accumulation in this. Mohamed Salah is at the AFCON. So they're getting thin. But they've still got Ekitike. They still got Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch. And the defense seems pretty healthy. Allison's back in goal. So I think they can just nick this one, get a victory, get out of Dodge, and take the 3 points. So give me Liverpool win 2-0.
Yeah, Deb, I think that is a sound play. We've got Andrew in the chat saying, I've gone with Fulham, Liverpool, Burnley, and Arsenal to win, and Chelsea to draw and Brentford to draw. Big accumulator here, big parlay. £2 returns £597. Well, we wish you luck with that one, Andrew. Burnley on the money line. That's an interesting shout. That's a bold one.
You could play that as a single. You could play either of those draw matches with Chelsea or Brentford to draw and get really good plus money on those. So do you got to parlay them all? I don't know, Andrew. You know you're betting better than we do.
Unless he means it's a double chance. Chelsea and draw, Brentford and draw, maybe.
Okay.
Let us know, but we wish you luck either way.
Right on, Jordan. Well, we've got more matches to cover on Saturday, including one near and dear to your heart, Jordan. It's Festive United against Fulham. And this one sees the Asian handicap line as a pick, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, it's your West Ham United against Fulham. It's a London derby. What do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, Dev, it's do or die time for the Irons right now, sadly. They are starting to be cut adrift. That little bottom grouping of West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves starting to be cut adrift from the rest of the Prem, with Leeds performing the way they are now. A lot of people had Leeds maybe getting sucked into it. Doesn't look like they're going to at the moment. So we're kind of counting on Forest to maybe start slipping even more. So definitely hoping my Manchester City bullishness comes through. But West Ham have to pick up points themselves. All right. And they just had kind of a tough run of it. Got a couple draws out of it. Got smashed by City most recently. But these fixtures coming up, there are a handful of fixtures now. You got back-to-back home games against Fulham and Brighton. These are games where you have to start targeting points. And I don't know I don't know that they can do it. I don't know that they can get the points. But this Fulham team have been pretty bad at the London Stadium. Like, this has been a team traditionally West Ham are able to get the better of at home. And I'm kind of banking on that, or hoping for it at least. I'm not going to mess with the side here, but given that West Ham need to win this match, I think they're going to come out pretty front-footed here and take advantage of the fact that Fulham are missing some key players to AFCON, right? Alex Iwobi, Samuel Chukwueze is gone, Calvin Bassey is gone, so maybe a little depleted there. West Ham also missing their fullbacks, which might change the way that we play. Wan-Bissaka and El Hadj Malik Diouf, both gone at AFCON. So I think that actually might make us a little more robust in the back, because I think it's going to be rather than having two guys that like to bomb forward, it's going to be a little more stable back there. And Kyle Walker-Peters and Oliver Scarles just playing more traditional fullback roles, not getting forward as much. But I do think there will be a concerted effort to pick up the 3 points here, take advantage, but I think they're going to need to be able to score a couple of goals in this one because I do think Fulham get on the score sheet here. This game starts at 1-1 for me, and I'm happy to see that if you tack on someone getting the second goal, both teams to score and over 2.5 comes in at plus 105. Love that bet. I'm hoping it's West Ham who scored twice because I'm double dipping again here, Dev, because I think the West Ham team total over 1.5 at plus 130 is just too big given the situation, given they're at home. So I'm going to double dip there. Both teams to score and over 2.5 at plus 105 and West Ham to score twice at plus 130.
Wow, George, you said we, us, we're going to play this way. Are you suiting up? You gonna put on the kit and you getting out there and playing?
Well, Dev, it was the royal we. No, actually, it wasn't the royal we. It's you'll leave me alone. It's my team.
Yeah.
I played
You're
the
not on the
Claret and
team.
Blue.
Relax. Relax.
I played it.
Well, Jordan, I'm with you on most of that you said there. I'm just gonna keep it simple though. I'm going with the over 2.5 goals in the match, minus 125. A little bit juicy, not the best price, but I do fear like a 3-0 either way in this match. There's something about it feels scary to me. Now, there's really nothing about that other than gut feel. Both teams have scored in 7 of the last 9 West Ham matches and 5 of the last 6 Fulham matches, so every chance both teams do score here. You said it starts at 1-1, but I just think there's goals in it. I like the way this Fulham team's been playing. You got guys like Emile Smith-Rowe, Harry Wilson, Jimenez up top, the Mexican, combining with Kevin. Just
Kevin!
That's it. Just one name, just Kevin. Anthony Robinson's back on that left wing back role, and they've been fun going forward. They can spring on the counter very quickly. I'm hoping this is an end-to-end game and a lot of fun. I hope that Nuno doesn't come in and ruin it for all of us. But yeah, I like the way both these teams can score some goals. They've got quality in the front position. So let's get some goals here, Jordan. I'm just going to go with that over 2.5, minus 125.
Yeah, Dev, I think that's fair enough. And Andrew agrees with you. He likes this Fulham attack. He sees Harry Wilson, Kevin, and Jimenez running riot for Fulham. Yeah, certainly possible. Certainly possible. Harry Wilson has been in ridiculous form. And then we got Bob D's in the chat. He says, Merry Christmas. Expect Jordan to drop a few West Ham props in the Discord. Bob, you know me too well, buddy. Merry Christmas.
Jordan, you mentioned the Discord. Good time to tell you guys to jump in our Discord. There is a free link to join in the description of wherever you are watching or listening to this. Jump in there because we've got some really sharp guy who knows about AFCON in there. His name's Dr. Blay, the doctor. He's coming in there giving all kinds of winners on AFCON. I almost don't want to keep talking about it because it's going to put more pressure on him. But it has been fun to dip our toes into AFCON, which I can only watch on a sports book on my phone.
Right.
So I'm gambling on the game. It's playing on my phone. It's an interesting way to watch it, but it's been fun. It's been interesting the way that they play in the AFCON. So check us out. Appreciate it, guys. We got one more match for you, and this one is quote-unquote the big one on Saturday. It's it's Chelsea hosting Aston Villa. This one sees Chelsea as home favorites of a half a goal, and the total is set at 2.75 on the Asian total there. Aston Villa, winners of 10 straight Premier League matches. Matches across all comps. You can tell I'm starting to get a little loose here. They're traveling to Stamford Bridge. What do you think about this matchup, Jordan?
Well, Dev, I guess I agree that this is kind of probably the most meaningful match taking place here.
Third and fourth in the table, so
right,
yeah,
exactly.
More on the line.
And sometimes you can get some cage with that, right? But I don't think this one will be cagey. I actually think it could be pretty entertaining. This Aston Villa team, Dev, you mentioned it, 10 straight wins in all comps. I think it's a little fraudulent, Dev. I think it's a little smoke and mirrors. We've already talked on this show about how they're scoring more goals from range, more goals from outside of the box than any other team across the big 5 European leagues. Hard to sustain that, and their XG numbers will tell you that. Morgan Rogers alone has an XG in the Premier League of like 2.38, I believe it is. He has 7 goals. You just can't sustain that over long periods. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a little dip coming for Aston Villa. I don't know that it starts here, but it could be, because Chelsea at the Bridge playing against a team above them in the table, we know what they do. They raise their game. We've seen them do it. This is kind of like a sweet spot game for Chelsea. I don't know that they win it, though. But I do know that if they're going to win it, they probably need to score a couple of goals. So I went a little bit more cautious. I do lean Chelsea here, but this Villa team has just fucked me so many times recently. I had to go with safer option. Just goes Chelsea to score twice. Chelsea team total over 1.5 at -130. That's where I'm going.
All right, Jordan, well, I'm going in a similar kind of direction. I'm just taking Chelsea on the money line here, baby. -120, not a great price, but I think the bookies are onto something here. And you hinted at this, but this is the perfect Chelsea spot. They love punching above their weight. They love playing teams that they can get up for and feel like this is a big game. We're going to show up, especially at Stamford Bridge. And they've got their guys back. They got everyone healthy right now. Caicedo playing back in the midfield after his suspension. He'll be fresh with Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer. Still getting into form again. But a full-strength Chelsea side, I do think, is one of the best teams we've seen in the world and in Europe. So at home, I think this is good value here. I wish it was a little better. I wish it was like a quarter of a goal favorite situation for Chelsea. But I think the bookies know that, as you mentioned, Aston Villa possibly a little bit fraudulent. They have a negative expected goal differential on the season. They're way overperforming their XG and their XGA. The only other team that even comes close is actually Manchester City in terms of overperformance of those numbers. But they sit with the second best expected goal differential, whereas Villa is bottom of the table, or bottom 10, bottom half. 10. Bottom half. So I do think it's a little bit unsustainable, and this just feels like exactly the kind of Chelsea spot where they go, this is a big game, we show up for it, we take care of business at home, they get the win. So I'm going with the -120 on the money line. 10-game win streak for Aston Villa. I think it comes to an end here, especially when you look at third and fourth in the table. 7 points between them. Chelsea could use 3 points here. I think they get them.
Yeah, Def. So we're attacking in pretty similar ways, right? You're getting 10 cents better to get Chelsea to win the game. I'm getting 10 cents worse, but if Villa do keep scoring luck box goals, maybe I'll be happy that I only had the team total. We'll see. Hopefully we get a Chelsea 2-1 victory and we both walk away happy.
Heck yeah, Jordan. Love to see it. But that's going to do it for us, guys. That's all the games we're covering. We're not dipping into the Serie A. It's been horrible to us lately. There are Serie A matches happening. If we do add plays for those, they'll be in the Discord, so check us out there. We don't have any matches we're covering in the Sunday games, but there will be AFCON going on all the time, so there's plenty of stuff to bet on. Jord, before we get out of here, there's something we got to do.
We do indeed, Dev, because it's one thing to talk about these matches, and it's quite another to put our money where our mouths are and pay the bookie.
Chuck, I'm going to tell you something. You have that fucking 200 in my hands tomorrow. If you ain't got the 200 in my fucking hands tomorrow, I'll break every fucking bone in your body.
Right on, Jordan. Well, let's throw up our official plays for the Christmas weekend here. I've got Newcastle United, team total over 1.5 at +110. Liverpool, win to 0 at even money. West Ham United and Fulham Football Club over 2.5 goals in the match, -125. And finally, Chelsea on the money line, -120. What do you got, Jordan?
Good stuff, Dev. Yeah, I've got tons of plays on here. When you see it in writing, it looks wild because I double dipped in 3 of the matches. First one, on Boxing Day, we got Man United and Newcastle. I'm going both teams to score and over 2.5 at -120. I'm also taking Man United to go over their team total shots, over 14.5 shots at even money. In Manchester City, traveling to Forest, I'm taking Man City -1 on the Asian handicap at -105. And I'm taking Man City to score in both halves at +125. West Ham, Fulham, both teams to score and over 2.5, +105. And I'm taking West Ham to score twice at +130. Can they do it? I'm also taking Chelsea to score twice, and that's coming in at -130. There was one game that I was going to put on my card, but I decided not to do it officially. I like Arsenal to win and Arsenal to have the most corners when they host Brighton. You put those together, it's minus 120. I think that's very likely to come through. But because it's Arsenal and because they're a bit of a bogey team for us on this podcast, I decided not to make it official. But again, do check us out in the Discord. I will definitely have more plays.
Right on, Jordan. Well, thanks for giving us those. We've got Light Chipster in the chat. Says, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you as well. And Merry Christmas to
Chipster.
all of everybody watching. Happy holidays. Hope you enjoy your family. If you don't have family to enjoy, we hope you enjoy the footy.
Get in. Yes, indeed. And guys, bet responsibly this weekend. As we said already, there's a ton of matches coming up. They're coming thick and fast. We're doing this again for the EPL next midweek. And then we've got Champs League to return. AFCON still going on. There's all kinds of soccer. So manage that bankroll, bet responsibly, and have some fun with this. Let's make some money.
Let's make some money. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Martial.